Quick video for you boys. Back to the land of the ambulances. Called out for this one. It was a no crank, no start. Supposedly went into the shop. They did some work on it, and then they tried to jump it, and it wouldn't start. Somebody said it was the BCM. They got a replacement BCM. Tried to program it, but they couldn't program it because there was no communication with the PCM. That's when I got called out. I did my Diags, and I found that there was no communication with the PCM. And when I came out to the front here, I went to the PCM relay, which is here. I energized it, and I could hear the PCM come on and actually activate the throttle body. So that told me the PCM relay was not being activated properly. I checked it. I had power and ground on the control side, but no power coming from fuse 15 inside the fuse box here. It's a 40 amp fuse. I was having no power coming here. Actually, it's on this side. This is where the power should come in from. So I temporarily jumped it, and everything works. The PCM comes on, everything. I have communication with all the modules, the PCM and the TCM. But there's a hardware issue between that fuse box and I don't have any light here, and this fuse box under the steering wheel. That next to that gray relay, that green relay, that is the PCM relay. It does have power, so there's a physical break coming from that fuse box to this fuse box. But that would be the fix then to replace that link. Temporary fix is, of course, adding the source directly from the battery, right? We're gonna see what the customer wants to do here, but that's pretty much it, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, like and subscribe. If you didn't know this, now you know. Knowing it's half the battle, boys.
All right, guys, it's actually the next day. It was late, so I couldn't finish this Diag. The van still resulted in a no crank. We did have communication with the PCM, the TCM, and the BCM, but still there was a no crank. So I had to do a Diag, so I came the next day, and what we're going to go ahead and do is check the starting circuit. First thing in checking the ECM, when you were trying to crank, I noticed this. Key position for start, no, it's off. So I checked the starting circuit, and here's the diagram of the starting circuit. It's 2 pages. So we're going to go to the BCM first, but here's a diagram for the PCM body connector.
All right, at the BCM, pin 71 here. That blue and white cable there, that is the starting circuit cable. Somebody's already peeled it off here. As you can see it, it's kind of a thick cable, that one there. So we're going to tap into that and check that out. All right, and on crank, as you can see, we do get a light. Okay, here is the connector C175B. That's the connector closest to the fender, okay? And this is the cable we're looking for. It is 42, that should be the signal. So there's 39, 40, 41, which is blank, and then 42, which is the blue and white. I've already pulled it. I've traced it from the back and pulled it, and I've got it pulled out here. So we're going to connect everything back and see if we're getting power on that one. All right, here's the computer. We're going to put it back now. All right, we're tapped in to the blue cable with our piercing probe, and we've got the test light hooked up to ground. So if we get a positive from the ignition switch, for example, like this, it should light up our test light. So I'm going to have someone crank it, and let's see what happens. Start it. Okay, let's see what happens if we get a light. Okay, yeah, we got a light, and it's starting. It looks like it was probably a bad connection. Yeah, that's your arm, I'll fix it. Yeah, most likely a bad connection, because once I pulled off it was probably poorly seated. I'm sure people had put their hands on it. So that's what happened. After I reseated it, that was it. It did send a signal there, and the car started. By the way, this car does not have PATs. So you got to keep in mind, if you ever run into an issue, something with the security, there are some models without PATs. So you're going to go to the BCM and check to see how many keys are programmed or the minimum required. And of course, on this one, there's 0 minimum requirement for the keys. So there's no PATs on this vehicle. Another very important connector that I reseated. that you definitely need to watch out for is this one. This basically connects this fuse box to the fuse box inside and joins some circuits. So if you have a bad connection, bent pins here, then you definitely will have run into an issue like this. So this connector is very important as well. So keep that in mind, guys. Oh, and by the way, guys, they cried uncle on the other ambulance, the one with the dashboard, if y'all remember. So there's gonna be I think it's gonna be a part 3 now. So stay tuned for that one, boys. We're gonna finish that one and get it going. Took them a few months to come along, but hey, sometimes you don't want to take that medicine, but you go and take it over here.